All that is coffee.
Today's our second full day. Ben is gonna go off and work. He's gonna go to a coffee shop to edit.
I have mixed feelings about leaving camp. It's like, takes so much emotional energy to like leave. It's like there's a bubble here. But it's also nice to get some work done and
Drink some good coffee.
drink some good coffee, yeah. Island life is really kind of crazy out here in the Northwest. There's these islands in the Puget Sound, and they're kind of these own little tiny hippie community things. So here's like the one grocery store for the entire south side of the island, and you have to take a ferry to get here. It's really kind of a cool, different, alternative culture. I'm heading to this coffee shop now that's actually really awesome. I'm gonna show it to you guys. But if there's any doubt that this is the coffee shop I'm supposed to be at, check this out right here. This is the one turn to get here. See that? It says Crawford Road right there. It's this like crazy secret coffee shop in the woods. When you're looking at like Yelp or stuff, I don't think it even lists their address. It's way back here. Here we are. Looks like a giant warehouse. It smells like when we cook coffee in our house. It is lunchtime back at camp, so I'm gonna try and get back as soon as possible and join the rest of the family. I got almost two episodes edited though, so I feel pretty good.
No, I don't think so. That was Ben's aunt and uncle, and they came from Korea many years ago. They came up here to visit with us. And you are hungry. You want your mama.
We just finished a great dinner, and even though we are at camp, that is no excuse not to do Tattoo Tuesday. How are you? How are you? We got a special treat for you guys today because there's a speaker at camp who's actually a pastor, and you guessed it, he has tattoos, and he is
Dan Braga.
Right here. This is Dan.
I'm working on a full traditional sleeve right now, so I really love the traditional art. It's kind of my nod to the genre. I really respect the old tough guys and I like the redemptive factor. So I suppose we could just start at the top. I have this water and fire and the banners, captive heart, which is for my wife. She took my heart captive based out of a text in Song of Solomon. The swallows, the sailors, every 5,000 miles would get a swallow tattooed onto their body somewhere. So this represents 5 years of marriage. This is 10 years of marriage.
Ooh, that's cool.
Our 15-year anniversary is actually next month, so I'm going to have my collarbone done with a big 15-year swallow. The ship, of course, is an ancient symbol of Christianity representing the journey, and we put the little lightning bolt in and the angry waves just to represent how rough life can be, but the sunset behind sets your heart at ease, knowing that Jesus is going to bring a day when all things will calm down. It's going to be looking good. The moth, everything will be moth-eaten, so setting our treasures in heaven. And then the big traditional bird was at a time in my life that was very difficult. And Isaiah 40, Lamentations 3:25 on the stopwatch, it's all about waiting on God and knowing that He's faithful, knowing that there's strength coming if you'll just wait, and carrying the light that's going to come in the darkness if you can just hold on by faith. And I've just always loved the ancient Catholic traditions around the Sacred Heart. Jesus' burning heart for us, our heart just in love with Him.
Is this it? You're filling out this sleeve, or are you going with 2 sleeves?
At this point, I've persuaded my wife that I can fill out this sleeve, and then she wants me to stop. I may end up going ahead and doing a big ocean piece with an octopus on my calf. We'll see.
His wife is hardcore. She has tattoos like on her hand, right?
Well, she has wrist tattoos that run around.
Wrist tattoos.
I forgot those. We have our little anniversary tattoos, 981, and hers. This is our anniversary.
Oh, she has the same thing on.
Yeah, she has his, and then the number here.
So, do you regret any of these tattoos?
Absolutely not.
What about the one you got when you were 18?
No, I don't. It's a part of my life. It's where I was at that time. Each of these tattoos, when I look at them, they represent a time that I can look at them and I know where I was, what I was going through in that moment, why I chose that design, and they're very, very special. They tell the story.
Cool, man.
All right.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
I am going to talk about something now that I'm really not very excited to talk about. I have a really hard time going to chapel. I don't want to go to chapel. And actually, like I said, this is hard to talk about because that guy that I just interviewed for Tattoo Tuesday, he's this main speaker for this entire week. And look at this. I was reading his thing. This is the syllabus he's using. It's called Marriage and Family, on Earth as it is in Heaven. It's like everything that we believe on our vlog and talk about. It's like the closest I've ever found to it, in fact. It's so true. He's such a cool guy. I still don't like to go to chapel. So I was thinking, why is that? And I was thinking it's because of my history with this camp. I've heard a lot of speakers at this camp. I mean, this is the place I'd come to as a little kid, and you'd get, be told how to live a right way, and leave really motivated and like, I'm going to change. And a lot of people come back. There's a lot of families here that grew up here. But there's a lot of people that don't come back, actually. And I was thinking today, it's a miracle that I actually come back. I'm not really invited or welcome to leadership. Part of that I've been told, and part of it is just perceived by me. And I'm actually okay with that. I've come to peace with that. But there's a sad part too, where I feel like that there's a type of person that's kind of like me, that if you don't fit into the culture that's created here, if you're like a different brand of following God or pursuing God, then you're really ostracized. And I want to be careful to say, like, this, I'm not talking about anyone that works here right now, or I really don't want to talk crap about this camp, because this camp I have nothing but thankfulness for. But I don't think I'd be doing you guys or this camp a service by being dishonest about this. And 2 years ago, I was here, and one of the leaders, before this dinner, he said, I want to thank all you guys that are here. I know some of you guys have had hard times. And he apologized. And started crying because for all the crap that's been done here over the years, in the midst of all the good things, there has been some crap done. No one's apologized for it, at least to me, and I think a lot of other people. And I think there's people here that are deeper in their faith because of this camp, but I also think that there's people here who have completely left having faith or lost faith because of this camp. I've heard about what goes on. I've heard some of the dark stories, and they're dark. And people talk about the good stuff, but people don't talk about the bad stuff. So this is my goal for myself this week. Sometimes I feel like I'm guilty. I feel like I'm the black sheep. I feel like I've done something wrong. And there's a lot of areas of my life where I haven't. That's just put on me by people around me because I don't fit in. And when you don't fit in enough, I feel like I've told myself that it's my fault. So my challenge to myself this week is to kind of slough some of that off and say, Ben, you let God decide. But don't condemn yourself to be guilty if you're not. I mean, believe me, I'm guilty enough of enough stuff that the last thing I need is more guilt just for being different from these folks or from this culture. And my guess is a lot of these people are feeling that same way. I don't want to live in fear of being different or being guilty for things that I'm not guilty of. And I want to give this camp and the people here a second chance. You know, there's a lot of people that didn't come back, and I hear them point the finger at this institution or these people and they say, you all suck, you know, and I don't believe that. I do believe, though, there has been a culture created that has become bigger than the gospel of Jesus Christ and bigger than a relationship with God. And anytime we put that on other people, we have to be really careful. It just feels weird to talk about this stuff, honestly. It's like, I feel like I'm going to get in trouble just for making a video that talks about the dark side of camp, because it's almost like it's our job to all pretend like there isn't. But I know a lot of people that won't set foot on this place. And I feel like when I search my heart of hearts, I can understand why. And I'm not content just to have this place be awesome. I want to reach people, and I want to have restoration of my friends and family members that aren't here, that won't step foot here. And for that to happen, I think we need to acknowledge some of the stuff and be ready to say sorry. Now, I'm going to go to chapel. We had not seen each other in 6, 7, 5 years. I don't know when it was.
So this is before I had started this sleeve, and at the time, I've always loved tattoos. I would be fully sleeved, but as a pastor, I really wrestled with the responsibility of not offending the flock. I met Ben, and Ben had just had this fantastic piece on his left arm done with the skull and the pistol, and then all this stuff right going up into it. He walked into this classroom, and my immediate thought was, damn, why can he have a tattoo and I can't? Why am I so wrestling with this? And that tattoo is just bad, dude. Like, I want my tattoos.